Hello friends, good afternoon. Just hold on for a second, guys. Yes, friends. Hello, good afternoon. Am I audible and visible? Somebody please ping me so that I can begin with today's important short session. Yes, hello everyone. Hi, this is Alokojha. Welcome to StudyIQ IAS English. In today's topic, we are going to focus on specifically the other rulers of the Mughal Empire. In yesterday's session, we had discussed about Babur, followed by Humayun, followed by Akbar. Today's session, within next 10 minutes, we are going to focus precisely on Nuruddin Muhammad Salim, also referred as Jahangir, followed by Shah Jahan, and finally comes Aurangzeb, who is also referred as Alamgir or Zinda Pir. Correct? Apart from that, we are also going to throw light on the administration of Mughals, followed by the administration of the Marathas, which is again very important from the exam perspective. So it's a request to all of you, please have a pen and paper along with you so that you guys can note down the important terminologies. Okay? And terminologies are very, very important from the exam perspective. Let me go a quick revision of Akbar and then I'll initiate with Nuruddin Muhammad Salim. After the death of Humayun, it is believed that Akbar assumed the throne when he was approximately 14 years of age. The second battle of Panipat was fought between Akbar and Hemu, and one of the regents of Akbar, he had led the second battle of Panipat. His name was Bairam Khan. Apart from this, Akbar had initiated lot many administrative reforms, like there are certain religious reforms of Akbar as well. For example, at a place called as Fatehpur Sikri, which is located 65 to 70 kilometers from Agra, he had started Ibadat Khana at that place. And here, religious discussions were being held. Precisely, the scholars from all religions came into the Ibadat Khana and he came up with a new religion that was referred as Din-e-Illahi. The first person to join Din-e-Illahi was Mahesh Das, also referred as Birbal, one of the famous characters of Akbar and Birbal stories. Then, during the time of Akbar, the peasants were categorized into three important categories: Khudakasht, Pahikasht and Muzarriya. And the land was categorized specifically into four important categories: Polaj, Parauti, Chachar and Banjar. Is that clear? So we had seen till Akbar yesterday. Today's session we are going to focus on Nuruddin Muhammad Salim, also referred as Jahangir. Okay? Now pay attention carefully. Jahangir's original name was Nuruddin Muhammad Salim. Now precisely about Jahangir, it is believed that like Jahangir, he assumed the throne at a very later stage. Initially, he was not at all interested in the administration. Apart from this, there is a relation between Jahangir and Mehrun Nisa, and how Mehrun Nisa was given the name Noor Jahan. There's a very beautiful story about this. Like father of Mehrun Nisa, he used to work in the court of Akbar as a noble. After some time, it is believed that Jahangir, also referred as Nuruddin Muhammad Salim, he fell in love with Mehrun Nisa. And this was observed by one of the court historians in the court of Akbar, whose name was Abul Fazl. And Abul Fazl informs about this secret love story to Akbar. And probably Akbar thought that this might be a plot of Mehrun Nisa's father to acquire the throne. So Akbar called Mehrun Nisa's father and said, I have one of the Iranian commander in the region of Bengal, and he's a governor of Bengal. His name is Sher Afghan. Why don't you marry your daughter to Sher Afghan? So Mehrun Nisa was married to Sher Afghan. It is believed that after the death of Akbar, Nuruddin Muhammad Salim, he became the next Mughal emperor. And he assumed the title Jahangir, conqueror of the world. Now, after 11 years, it is believed that this person, Jahangir, he dispatched an expedition to Bengal. And he asked Sher Afghan to divorce his wife Mehrun Nisa, to which Sher Afghan denied. And Sher Afghan was killed by the wazir of Jahangir. It is believed that Mehrun Nisa, she was being imprisoned, and later on Mehrun Nisa, she was brought back to Agra. And Mehrun Nisa, along with her daughter, whose name was Ladli Begum. Finally, after confinement or imprisonment of 1.5 to 2 years, Mehrun Nisa agreed to marry Jahangir. And from now onwards, Mehrun Nisa, she was referred as Noor Jahan. Noor Jahan basically means light of the world. Okay? Now, specifically speaking about the different reforms that was being introduced during the time of Jahangir, let's understand about them. Now let me tell you about English East India Company. English East India Company, it was formed in 1600 by charter of Queen Elizabeth I. It is believed that the first person from English East India Company to come into the court of Jahangir was Captain William Hawkins. And he wanted to acquire permission to trade in India. But during the initial stages, he was denied the permission for trading in India. Then comes Captain Middleton and Thomas Roe, and they were given the permission to trade in India. So English East India Company established their first factory at Surat during the time of Jahangir. Okay. Apart from this, there was a Dutch traveler whose name was Francisco Pelsiart. Okay. He also visited India during the time of Jahangir. Now, as we had seen, the Mansabdari system that was introduced by Akbar. As a part of Mansabdari system, the Mansabdar were given particular rank. Okay. Suppose there is a Mansabdar. Okay. Now, he has been given the rank of 500. In very simple words, there would be 500 soldiers working under him. And apart from this, these 500 soldiers have to maintain exactly the double horses. That is 1000 horses. Suppose if there is a Mansabdar, his rank is 3000. So if his rank is 3000, he has to maintain 3000 soldiers plus 6000 horses. Now, Jahangir came up with the concept of Duhaspa Sihaspa system. Duhaspa means every soldier under a Mansabdar needs to maintain minimum 2 horses. That is called as Duhaspa. On the other hand, Sihaspa. Every soldier under a Mansabdar compulsorily, mandatorily needs to maintain 3 to 4 horses. This is called as Sihaspa. So, Duhaspa and Sihaspa as a part of Mansabdari system was introduced during the time of Jahangir. So, please do remember this. Apart from this, painting, it reached its epitome during the time of Jahangir. And there were famous painters at that time who were being patronized by Jahangir. Their name is Mansoor, and the Mansoor was given the title Nadir ul Ashra. Another painter who was being patronized by Jahangir was Abdul Hassan, and he was given the title Nadir ul Zaman. Okay, I have covered Jahangir in quite depth and detail as a part of medieval Indian history series. But here I am just focusing precisely from the perspective of prelims examination. Is that clear? So please note down these terminology, because there could be a probable question in the prelims examination: which among the following painters were patronized by Jahangir? Nadir ul Ashra was a title given to whom? So it was given to Mansoor. Is that clear? Apart from this, Jahangir had also started golden chain of justice system. Now, what is golden chain of justice system? See, usually it is believed that the Mughal emperor used to meet the common people and listen to their difficulties and plight. Suppose if any kind of an injustice has been done to a particular person. So the Mughal emperor used to meet the people in Diwan-e-Aam. There is something called as Diwan-e-Khas and something called as Diwan-e-Aam. Diwan-e-Khas is the meeting of the ministers and the nobles. On the other hand, Diwan-e-Aam is where the Badshah or the emperor meets the common man and listens to their difficulties, listens to their plight. So here he had initiated one system which is referred as golden chain of justice system. As a part of this system, if a person feels that any kind of injustice has been done to him, or if any officer is not performing his duty properly, he can directly inform about that to the emperor. And this is nothing but golden chain of justice system. This person, Jahangir, he died at a place called as Anarkali Bazar, Lahore. So his tomb is located in Anarkali Bazar, Lahore. So what all important things do we need to remember about Jahangir? Listen to me. First of all, Captain William Hawkins was the first agent of English East India Company to come into the court of Jahangir. Second was Captain Middleton and Thomas Roe. There was a Dutch traveler whose name was Francisco Pelsiart who came to the court of Jahangir. Apart from this, Jahangir started Duhaspa and Sihaspa system as a part of Mansabdari system. In Duhaspa, the number of horses to be maintained were 2. In Sihaspa, the number of horses to be maintained were 3 and 4. Painting reached its epitome during the time of Jahangir. And there were important painters such as Mansoor and Abdul Hassan who were being patronized by Jahangir. Apart from this, Jahangir had started golden chain of justice system. Is that clear? So these are the important things that you guys need to remember from the perspective of prelims examination. Okay, moving ahead. Shah Jahan. Now, Shah Jahan's his original name was Khurram. Now, it is believed that during the time of Jahangir, painting reached its epitome. Similarly, during the time of Shah Jahan, it is believed that Mughal architecture it reached its epitome. In fact, the era of Shah Jahan is also referred as golden age of architecture. So remember one thing, okay? Shah Jahan, he had followed the policy of expansionism and imperialism. The famous Kohinoor diamond was gifted to Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan by Mir Jumla. So please remember this. Mir Jumla gifted the famous Kohinoor diamond, which is also considered as one of the most cursed diamond. Okay, it was gifted by Mir Jumla to Shah Jahan. Apart from this, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Ji's father, whose name was Shahaji Bhosle, he was contemporary to Shah Jahan. Apart from this, King Louis XIV of France, he was contemporary to Shah Jahan. Okay, like let me give an additional information, and this is very important from the exam perspective. Like in the court of King Louis XIV, there was a very important minister whose name was Colbert. And Colbert, let me write his name. Colbert had suggested King Louis XIV that there are many European companies that are trading in East and accruing huge amount of profits. So why don't we establish a company and start trading in the East, precisely in the region of Indies? So King Louis XIV said that, do you have any alternate idea? Since there are many European countries that are trading in the region of East, so the profit margin will decline even if we start trading. Do you have any kind of another idea? So Colbert, he suggested King Louis XIV, yes, I have an idea. We won't be directly trading with India. First of all, we will lead an expedition to Madagascar and we will make Madagascar as our base. And from there, we will start sending the ships in all the directions. And in this manner, we will start expanding our trade. So in 1664, a company was created, which was referred as Campagne des Indes Orientalis. I repeat, Campagne des Indes Orientalis, also referred as French East India Company. So French East India Company was created during the time of Shah Jahan, and it was created in France by King Louis XIV of France. Is that clear? Now, there were other, European travelers who came to the court of Shah Jahan. One among them was Tavernier. Tavernier, he was a French gem merchant. Another was Peter Mundi, he was an Englishman. Niccolo Manucci, he was Italian traveler and writer. Now Shah Jahan, he was also known for his generosity like Akbar. Let me give you a very small example. Akbar had banned child marriage and sati system. Apart from this, Akbar had also abolished the jizya system. We have seen what is the jizya tax. It is nothing but a pilgrim tax or religious tax imposed on non-Muslims, precisely the Hindus. For example, if I have to construct a temple on my own land, I had to pay a tax that was referred as jizya tax. On the other hand, if I have to go to a pilgrimage, I had to pay a tax to the government. That was referred as jizya tax. Correct? So Akbar had abolished jizya tax. Correct? It was reimposed by Jahangir. It was again abolished in the region of Allahabad, which is referred as present-day Prayagraj and Banaras. Okay? So there was a local Brahmin whose name was Kavindracharya. He insisted Shah Jahan that Allahabad and Banaras are important pilgrim centers, and lakhs of Hindus visit these places on annual basis. So please abolish jizya in this region. So on the insistence of a Brahmin named as Kavindracharya, Shah Jahan had abolished jizya in the region of Prayagraj and Banaras. Apart from this, he had completely abolished the sajda and paibo system initiated by Balban. Guys, if you remember about one of the rulers of slave dynasty whose name was Balban, we had discussed about this, that Balban, he ruled with a policy of blood and iron. And Balban had introduced two important systems referred as sajda and paibo system. Sajda means prostration, and paibos means kissing the sultan's hand or kissing the sultan's feet. So Shah Jahan, he had abolished sajda and paibos system. He had shifted the capital from Agra to Delhi. And because of his generosity, he was compared to Akbar, and he is also referred as Little Akbar. Okay, as we have discussed in the start about Shah Jahan itself, that architecture reached its epitome during the time of Shah Jahan, and there were famous constructions during the time of Shah Jahan. One was Jama Masjid, Moti Masjid, Lal Killa, that is Red Fort, then Peacock Throne, and the most important one, Taj Mahal. Correct? So these are the important things that was being initiated by whom? The constructions initiated by Shah Jahan. One more thing. Shah Jahan had 4 sons, Dara Shikoh, Shuja, Murad Bakhsh and Alamgir. The most literate among them was Dara Shikoh. Dara Shikoh, although being a fundamentalistic follower of Islam, but still he respected and revered other religions. It is believed that he had studied more than 52 Upanishads in Sanskrit language. And these 52 Upanishads were translated into Persian language by Dara Shikoh, who was one of the sons of Shah Jahan. And the translated versions of this is referred as Sir-e-Akbar. So please remember this. The translated version of Upanishad was referred as Sir-e-Akbar. Clear? And precisely this translation was done by whom? Dara Shikoh, one of the sons of Shah Jahan. Is that clear, everyone? Then, moving ahead. So these are the important things. I'll repeat the points again. Shah Jahan, his original name was Khurram. Like the era of Shah Jahan is also referred as golden age of architecture. Like there were many important constructions during his time, such as Jama Masjid, Moti Masjid, Red Fort, Peacock Throne and Taj Mahal. Then, apart from this, Shah Jahan, he had abolished jizya in the region of Allahabad and Banaras on the insistence of a local Brahmin whose name was Kavindracharya. He had abolished sajda and paibos system. For his generosity, he was also compared to Akbar and was referred as Little Akbar. There were many European travelers who came during the time of Shah Jahan, such as Bernier, Tavernier, Niccolo Manucci, Peter Mundi, and so on. Hope so the points are clear about Shah Jahan. Okay, yes friends, any question, any query? Okay, now let's understand about Aurangzeb. Like, it is believed that the last days of Shah Jahan were very tedious because his son Alamgir, oftenly referred as Aurangzeb, he had imprisoned his own father. Why he had imprisoned his own father? As discussed previously, Shah Jahan had four sons, Dara, Shuja, Murad Bakhsh and Alamgir. The most competent enough to sit on the throne of Mughal Empire was Dara Shikoh. But forcefully, this person, Alamgir, he wanted to acquire the throne from his brother Dara Shikoh. Why? Because Shah Jahan, his father, was in favor of Dara Shikoh. So he had imprisoned his own father, Shah Jahan. And apart from this, there was a battle that was fought, Battle of Dharmat. Dharmat, it is located near Ujjain. Battle of Dharmat was fought between Alamgir, that is Aurangzeb, and his brother Dara Shikoh, in which Dara Shikoh, precisely, he was being defeated and killed. Aurangzeb was one of the most fundamentalistic follower of Islam. Okay, he continuously interfered with the internal politics of the Marathas, the Sikh, Jats and the Rajputs. The 9th Sikh Guru, Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, he was being executed by Aurangzeb. So please remember this, the 9th Sikh Guru, Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, was being executed by whom? This person, Alamgir, that is Aurangzeb. Okay, now Aurangzeb, he also had strange relations with whom? Marathas. Now initially Aurangzeb did not take Marathas seriously. In fact, he considered Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Ji nothing more than a mountain rat. And initially, like specifically what happened, there was an incident which is referred as killing of Afzal Khan. Adil Shah had dispatched Afzal Khan to contain Shivaji in the region of Deccan. But Afzal Khan, he was being killed by Shivaji Maharaj ji. Okay. Now this person, Aurangzeb, started taking specifically Shivaji Maharaj ji seriously. So he had dispatched one of his maternal uncles, whose name was Shaist Khan, to contain Shivaji. Okay. And Shaist Khan, he was also the provincial governor. He was also the Subedar of Bengal Suba. But Shaist Khan, he was also being defeated by Shivaji Maharaj ji. Then Mirza Raje Jai Singh was being sent, and finally Treaty of Purandar was signed between Shivaji Maharaj ji and Aurangzeb. As per this treaty, Shivaji Maharaj ji had to surrender 23 out of 35 forts to Aurangzeb. Apart from this, Shivaji Maharaj ji was taken into captivation, that is house arrest, in Agra. And in a very diplomatic manner, Shivaji Maharaj ji, he escaped from Agra and he started recovering back lost forts. Okay, Shivaji Maharaj ji's coronation took place in 1674 at a place called as Raigad. And from now onwards, Shivaji Maharaj ji was referred as Chhatrapati and Hindvi Dharmodharak. Chhatrapati means ruler of the people, and Hindvi Dharmodharak means protector of Hinduism. But unfortunately, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj ji passed away in 1680 at the age of 53. Okay, so this person, Aurangzeb, he had a, what we say, very strange relations with the Marathas. In fact, we can also say that he had a kind of an animosity with the Marathas because he wanted to increase his influence in the region of Deccan. Okay, moving further, it is believed that this person, Aurangzeb, was also referred as Zinda Peer, that is a living saint. Now let me tell you one more important aspect. Sufism. We'll study about Sufism in tomorrow's session. Like, the word Sufism has been derived from the word Suf, and Suf basically means wool. Now, the followers of Sufism, they do believe that, like, it is not necessary to offer prayers to Allah 5 times in a day. It is not necessary to observe Roza in the holy month of Ramzan. But here, you should, the core principle of Sufism is humanity. Service to humanity is service to Allah. That is a core principle of Sufism. And the concept of Peer and Murid are the central tenets of Sufism. Peer means teacher, Murid means disciple. Okay, so there is one more concept in Sufism which is referred as Sama. Like in Hinduism, we have prayers to God. Apart from prayers to God, we also perform bhajans and kirtans. Similarly, in Sufism, in Islam, there is a concept referred as Sama. Sama means musical congregation. Okay, so this person, Aurangzeb, he had completely banned Sama in his court. In fact, he himself was fond of playing veena. Okay, he himself was fond of playing veena and he had banned Sama. He was referred as Zinda Peer. Apart from this, it is also believed that he had introduced a Persian script which was referred as Nastaliq script. Is that clear? And his tomb is located in Aurangabad, Maharashtra, which is presently referred as Chhatrapati Shambhaji Nagar. So what are the important aspects, or what are the important things that we guys need to remember about Aurangzeb? First of all, he was referred as Alamgir. Battle of Dharmat was fought between Dara Shikoh and Aurangzeb. Dharmat is located near Ujjain, that is Malwa, western part of Madhya Pradesh. He was referred as Zinda Peer, that is living saint. He had completely banned Sama, that is musical congregation. He was follower of Naqshbandi Silsila. Let me specifically tell you about Naqshbandi Silsila. There are different Sufi orders such as Chishti Silsila, Suharwardi Silsila, Qadri Silsila and Naqshbandi Silsila. Okay, and precisely he was follower of Naqshbandi Silsila of Sufism. Is that clear? Apart from this, yes, Rahul, perfect. Only Mughal tomb located in south, that is precisely in the region of Deccan. So his tomb is located in Maharashtra, and the script that was deployed by him was Nastaliq script. Hope so the points are clear to all of you. Please answer in the comment section. Now let's understand about the administration of Mughals. See, We have seen about the administration of Mauryas. We have seen about the Sangam administration. We have seen about the administration of the Gupta, administration of Delhi Sultanate. Same thing here, but the terminologies are different. What we had seen in the modern administration? In modern administration, we had seen that the, Rajan, okay, or Swami, he was at the apex of the administration. And he was assisted in performance of his duties by Council of Ministers referred as Mantri Parishad. Mantri Parishad was headed by Pradhan Mantri or Mantri Parishad Adhyaksha. In Delhi Sultanate, at the apex of the administration was Sultan. Sultan was assisted in performance of his duties by Council of Ministers referred as Majlis-e-Khalwat. And Majlis-e-Khalwat was headed by a Prime Minister referred as Naib. In very simple words, as a part of Delhi Sultanate, Naib acted as a channel of communication between Sultan on one side and Majlis-e-Khalwat on the other side. Okay, and there were various departments as a part of Majlis-e-Khalwat, such as Diwan-e-Wazirat department, Diwan-e-Khairat department, Diwan-e-Mushtaq Raj department, Diwan-e-Arz department, Diwan-e-Kohi department, and so on. Similarly, here as well, at the apex of the administration is Emperor, also referred as Badshah. And Badshah was assisted in performance of his duties by different ministers, by different departments. Example, the responsibility of Wazir, like he had civil and military powers in his hand. Diwan-e-Kul, he was the head of the revenue department, or it was the revenue department. Okay, its major responsibility was collection of the taxes. Then comes Mir Bakshi. Mir Bakshi was the paymaster general in the army. Mir Saman was the head of royal karkhanas. Then comes Sadr-us-Sadr. Sadr-us-Sadr, major responsibility was to impose the laws of Shariat. And finally comes Qazi, that is judge. So these are the important departments that are assisting the emperor, that is Badshah, in performing his duties at the central level. I repeat, Badshah assisted by Wazir, civil and military powers, Diwan-e-Kul, head of the revenue department, Mir Bakshi, paymaster general in the army, Mir Saman, head of the royal karkhanas. Then comes Sadr-us-Sadr. Major duty was to impose the laws of Shariat. And finally comes Qazi, chief judge. So this was at the central level. Now let's understand at the provincial level. Now, the Mughal Empire, precisely from the time of Akbar, was divided into different provinces. And these provinces were referred as Suba. Okay? And Suba was headed by the provincial governor, who was referred as Subedar. For example, Shah Shuja, he was a Subedar during the time of Shah Jahan. Apart from this, there were different Subedars during the time of Aurangzeb, such as Shast Khan was Subedar during the time of Aurangzeb. Is that clear? So Suba, it is nothing but province. Suba was headed by a provincial governor, and the provincial governor was referred as Subedar. And same responsibilities here as well. The responsibility of Subedar was to maintain law and order. Then Diwan, he was the head of the revenue department at the provincial level. Bakshi, he was the head of the military department or paymaster general in the army at the provincial level. Daroga-e-Dak, Dak means communication, head of communication department. Clear? Further, now these Suba were further divided into districts, and these districts were referred as Sarkar. Please do not get confused. If I compare with the Delhi Sultanate, if you remember about this, at the Delhi Sultanate, at the apex of the administration was Sultan. Below Sultan, there were Iqta. So, as a part of Delhi Sultanate, the provinces were referred as Iqta. Here, the provinces are referred as Suba. Then, provinces were further divided into district in Delhi Sultanate. And these districts were referred as Shik, headed by Shikdar. Here, as a part of Mughal administration, the districts are referred as Sarkar. And Sarkar is headed by Fauzdar, whose major responsibility is to maintain law and order, followed by Amal Guzar. He was responsible for revenue collection and record keeping of the lands. Clear? Then comes Pargana. Same thing here. Shik was further divided into Pargana. That is sub-district. So Pargana was sub-district, taluka, tehsil or town. And Pargana was headed by Shikdar and Amil. Shikdar's responsibility was to maintain law and order. And Amil's responsibility was revenue collection. And at the grassroots level, there is village. Village was referred as Mauza. And Mukaddam or Chaudhry was the head of the village, and prime responsibility of Mukaddam or Chaudhry was maintaining law and order. And Patwari was village accountant. So this is nothing but what? This is nothing but the administration of the, specifically during the time of Mughals. This is the administration during the time of Delhi Sultanate. Is that clear to all of you? I'll repeat the points again within the next 30 seconds. Please pay attention carefully. Emperor or Badshah assisted by Wazir, Diwane-Kul, Mir Bakshi Paymaster General of the Army, Mir Saman, head of Royal Karkhana, Sadr-us-Sadr. That is, his duty was to impose the laws of Shariat, followed by Qazi, Chief Judge. Suba, that is provinces, headed by Provincial Governor, Subedar. Then Bakshi and Daroga-e-Dak. Further, provinces were divided into district. District was referred as Sarkar. Sarkar headed by Fauzdar and Amal Guzar. Responsibility of Fauzdar to maintain law and order. Amal Guzar, land revenue collection and maintaining of the records of the lands. Pargana, that is sub-district, taluka, tehsil or town, headed by Shikdar and Amil. Finally, at the grassroots level, we have villages referred as Mauza. The head of the village was Mukaddam or Chaudhry. Responsibility was to maintain law and order. And finally comes Patwari, that is village accountant. Hope so the point is clear now. Very good, Shri. Now, this is nothing but the factual information about the important Mughal constructions. So, just remember few of them. Babur had constructed Kabuli Bagh Mosque at Panipat. We had discussed about this. Babur had constructed two important mosques. One at Panipat, which is located in Haryana and referred as Kabuli Bagh Mosque. And second one was at Sambal, located in Uttar Pradesh. The famous Babri Masjid was not constructed by Babur. It was being constructed by Mir Baqi, one of the military commanders of Babur. Then comes Humayun. Purana Killa in Delhi was constructed by Humayun. Deen Pana, that is library, was constructed by Humayun. Important constructions of Akbar include the Agra Fort, then the city of Fatehpur Sikri. We had studied about that in yesterday's session, that Fatehpur Sikri was constructed by Akbar after his victory over Gujarat. And at the entrance of Fatehpur Sikri, a gateway was constructed, and that gateway was referred as Buland Darwaza. Fatehpur Sikri is located 65 to 70 kilometers from Agra. Another important construction of Akbar's time was Panch Mahal in Fatehpur Sikri, Jami Masjid in Fatehpur Sikri. We have discussed about Shah Jahan already. Important constructions during the time of Jahangir was Tomb of Akbar located in Sikandra. Sikandra is located near Agra. Then Shalimar Gardens in Lahore. These are credited to the era of Jahangir. Then Tomb of Itmad-ud-Dawla, Agra. Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb had constructed a mosque which is referred as Badshahi Masjid or Badshahi Mosque located in Lahore. And second one, Bibika Maqbara, which is also referred as Mini Taj Mahal. It is an important construction credited to the time of Aurangzeb. So these are the important constructions. If you want, you can take a screenshot of this. This will help you a lot. Is that clear? Now let's understand in short about the literature part of the Mughals. See, Tuzuk-e-Babri, it was written by Babur in Turkish language and it was translated into Persian language by Abdul Rahim Khan-e-Khanan. Then Humayun-Nama was written by Gulbadan Begum. Gulbadan Begum, she was a sister of Humayun. Akbar-Nama was written by Abul Fazl, who was one of the Navratnas and the court historians in the court of Akbar. Ain-e Akbari, it was again written by Abul Fazl. Okay. In fact, Abul Fazl, Jahangir got Abul Fazl killed in the coming years. Then Munkhatab-ul-Tawarikh, it was written by Badayuni. In fact, Badayuni was one of the strong critics of Din-e-Ilahi that was initiated by Akbar, the new religion. Then Tuzuke Jahangir, it was written by Jahangir. Then Padshahnama, it was written by Abdul Hamid Lahori. Padshahnama, it speaks about the reign of Shah Jahan. Then Fatwa-e-Alamgiri, it was written by Alamgir, that is Aurangzeb. Just remember Alamgiri. The original name of Aurangzeb was Alamgir. So Fatwa-e-Alamgiri, Aurangzeb. Then Nuskha-e-Dilkhusha, it was written by Bhimsen. Raga Darpan, it was written by Sarangadev. Ganga Lahari, it was written by Jagannath Pandit Raya. Okay. Tulsidas ji has written Ramcharitmanas during the time of Akbar, and Surdas ji had written Sur Sagar. So these were the important literature during the time of Mughals. So if you want to take a screenshot again, you can go for that. Is that clear? Moving ahead. Let's understand about the administration of Marathas in short. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, I have talked about like Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj in short. The coronation of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj took place in 1674 at a place called as Raigad. From here onwards, he was referred as Chhatrapati and Hindavi Dharmodharak. Chhatrapati means ruler of the people, and Hindavi Dharmodharak means protector of the Hinduism. Clear? Yes, very good, Rahul. Now, the central administration of the Marathas had Ashtapradhan. Ashtapradhan basically means 8 important ministers. Okay, and these 8 important ministers are going to assist the ruler in performance of his duties. The first among them was Peshwa, and Peshwa was also referred as Pant Pradhan. Okay, and Pant Pradhan, he was the head of the in general administration and also looked of the finances. Okay, Peshwa became an important post precisely during the time of Chhatrapati Shahu Maharaj ji. And Bajirao I was considered as the greatest Peshwa. In fact, Bajirao I, he came up with Maratha confederacy into 5 parts, such as Peshwas ruled in Pune, Holkars in Indore, Scindias in Gwalior, Gaikwad in Baroda, and Bhosles in Nagpur. Okay, so Peshwa, a very important office, and it became one of the most important offices after the era of Chhatrapati Shahu Maharaj ji, or in fact you can say during the era of Chhatrapati Shahu Maharaj ji itself. Then Sare Naubat or Senapati, head of military department or head of the defense department, military commander. Amatya or Muzumdar, he was the accountant general. Vakya-Navis, he was the head of intelligence department, spy department, and so on. Sur-Navis or Chitnis or Sachiv, general secretary. Okay, these departments are very important from the exam perspective. There could be a probable question on the Ashtapradhan. Sumant or Dabir, he was the paymaster general of the ceremonies and foreign affairs. Nyayadhish, he was the head of the judicial department or the justice. Pandit Rao, responsible for, or Pandit Rao was the head of religious department. So these were the important dignitaries as a part of Ashtapradhana. Okay, now let's understand about the administration of Marathas at the provincial level and so on. Now, the Marathas empire was divided into different provinces. These provinces were referred as Prant, and the provinces were headed by the provincial governors. The provincial governor was referred as Subedar, and there was a person who assisted and supervised the Subedar, both, and he was Sar Subedar. Then the provinces were further divided into districts, and these districts were referred as Tarf. Tarf was headed by Havaldar, and the prime responsibility of Havaldar was to maintain law and order. It was further divided into sub-district, Taluka and Tehsil, which was referred as Pargana. And Pargana, there were 2 important officers, Deshmukh and Deshpande. Deshmukh, major responsibility was to maintain law and order, and responsibility for maintaining the accounts, revenue collection, everything, it was given to whom? Deshpande, at the level of Taluka, Tehsil or town. Villages, that is Gram or Mauza. At Gram or Mauza, there were 2 important officers, Patil and Kulkarni. Okay, like in Maharashtra, there is a very important saying, Gawacha Patil. Gawacha Patil means he is the head of the village. So Patil means his responsibility was maintaining law and order. And Kulkarni specifically, he was responsible for maintaining the accounts, revenue collection, and so on. So these are the important offices, these are the important aspects or terminologies related to the Marathas administration. Is that clear? I'll repeat. The provinces were referred as Prant, headed by Subedar. District as Tarf, headed by Havaldar. Sub-district was referred as Pargana, headed by Deshmukh and Deshpande. Deshmukh's prime responsibility was maintaining law and order. Deshpande's prime responsibility was revenue collection and record keeping of the lands. Village was referred as Mauza. And there were two important officers, Patil and Kulkarni. The responsibility of Patil was to maintain law and order, and Kulkarni was responsible for revenue collection and record keeping of the lands. Okay. One more important aspect, the script that was deployed, like after the coronation of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Ji, gold coins were being distributed, and the gold coins were referred as Shivrai Hon. And the script that can be found on these coins was referred as Modi script. Okay. So this is nothing but the important aspects of the administration of the Mughals and the Marathas, important terminologies. Tomorrow's session, we are going to throw light on Bhakti movement and Sufism. Key concepts of Sufism, what is Silsila, what is the concept of Dargah, what is Ziyarat, and so on. Important Bhakti saints of different parts, the books written by them, the literature part, and so on. Is that clear to all of you? My friends, StudyIQ IAS has come up with Achiever Carnival lowest prices ever. And today is the last day of the sale. The sale is going to end on 15th of April. And the prices are starting at a very affordable and minimum price at 12,999. Okay. Precisely, the batches are available in English, that is Hindi plus English. There's a complete separate batch apart from Hindi and English in Hindi medium. Then the most important one, there's a complete separate batch in English medium that will suffice to the needs of the students, precisely from southern part of India and northeastern India. All the subjects would be taught to you completely in English language. Rather it be history, geography, polity, economy, science and tech, current affairs, ethics, internal security, international relations and organizations, everything. There would be a proper mentor who would be guiding you throughout your entire journey for your civil services preparation. So today is the last day of the sale, and the prices are starting at a very affordable price of 12,999. So use the code Alok Live that is flashing on your screen to get the benefits of these batches. I repeat the code Alok Live. Okay. So with this, I stop my words for the day. See you guys tomorrow. Thank you and have a very nice day. Bye-bye. Thank you. Jai Hind.